I had to slow down the song just a little bit on this particular version because I have the amazing Oria with me. Oria, say what's up to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
How did you end up inside of music and writing and singing?
Wow. Okay. So, music and singing has been in my life for a very long time. I don't know how far back I should go, but my first experience was in second grade, where my mom realized I can sing, and so she was like, they had a recital in school. And my mother was like, Elizabeth, you're gonna go and audition for it. And I did. And the class was like, wow. And I was like, oh my God, I was young, so I didn't really know, that I could sing. But it started there. And then after that, it was church choirs and it was every possible choir and chorus throughout, school. And then just, because of life's journey, I started doing a lot of writing to express myself. And then that turned into songwriting. And over time, my best friend was, no, with your cousin. So then she introduced me to you, and then it took off from there. We got to this point where we're making great music. So I'm very thankful and very excited.
Yeah, I think a lot of us got to start from music from church, uh, being in so many choirs. I was a part of that too, but I found more of my love playing instruments rather than actually expressing my vocals. I leave that to Oriah to actually do that. What drove you to write the melody that you read? And I'm gonna bring up actually a piece of it. Closer, closer, space between you and me. Lights out, music loud. Drink up, can't wait to see the. That's what she sounds like, y'all. So she sounds dope. But yeah, tell us how you came up with the melody for the chorus, the verses. What I just played just now is just the verse, the first verse. But break that down for us.
Yeah, so I mean, well, you put the whole instrumental together, So hearing the island vibes of the song, I love dancing. So the first thing that came to mind was like, I gotta make this about dancing. It has to just have a nice flow to it. So, after hearing it, it just inspired that in me. And then, my mind just started going, going, going. And so the closer for me was like, oh, like I just really like that line. Closing the space between people. So getting close, just getting to know somebody, but in a dance atmosphere.
I mean, I did get a lot of that when I think the first time I heard it too, and you sung it out. It felt like the scene vibe, and it felt like an intimate moment. It felt like two people that didn't know each other, and they were really trying to get a little bit intimate on the dance floor. And but still rated PG, y'all, in a sense.
I put myself there mentally. Like I imagine myself being in the space of a club or a lounge, and just the way the lights flash back and forth is very exciting. You see people moving around in different ways. Everybody interprets music in terms of dance differently. So it just inspired me, like let me play with this here. Let me open this up. And I want people to feel that too. When you're listening to the song, you want to be like, oh, I can imagine myself, dancing to this, or I could imagine me and this person dancing to this.
It took some time before I actually had the inspiration as well to finish the track because I didn't know where I wanted to take it. You took it somewhere else where initially I didn't even think about it like that. I just think about it feeling good. The beat is driving through. The people can feel the bass, but you actually imagine the whole scenery and piece it all together. In terms of your melodies and such, like how do you what's your process? Do you usually write the lyrics first and then think about the melody, or does it like do you hum melodies and then put the words together? What is that writing process like?
Yeah, honestly, when I first started writing music, because it was just self-expression, I would just write whatever came to mind and then I would look for a sound to go to it. So I just had my own melody. But lately, especially working with you, you're excellent at creating beats, especially, the person on the steel pan was like, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I got into being able to hear, music and then write to it. So that's what happened with this one. Listening to it, I was like, okay, I could come up with something to this. It I just love the whole feeling of the song. And then in terms of the melody, just being able to um write something that lines up with the high pitch of the steel pan, so to me that's like happy, so it's an upbeat kind of song. And then the rest of the beat in the background, just a little low key. So it helps me to be like, okay, I want to have some high points in the song, and then also some, just relaxing type vibes in the song. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about it that like that. I didn't know that's where your mind was thinking about it. And like I know some of the dynamics like came at the end of the chorus. I think when it ended from the chorus right there and then went back to the second verse is when I stripped out the drums and then you did this part right here. I'm staying on your body tonight. I don't care who's watching, cause this just feels so right. Yeah, you're describing a lot there. In terms of like your verses, structure, like the full storyline, give us the full story of this song if you were to describe it in like a short summary from beginning to end of this few minutes that we actually pieced it together.
So definitely, and that works because like you could tell I had like a whole imagination about it. So it would be pretty much, getting into this exciting place. It could be a club, a lounge, a party, but getting there and then, seeing somebody and you're like, that person, they interest me or I'm attracted to them. Yeah. And then you kind of, you want to dance. Dancing is, it's so free. You get in, you're just moving around, and then you pair up with different people, sometimes even in a group. But so it would be you walking in, and then you're just enjoying yourself, and then you and another person catch each other's attention, and then you guys decide to dance. Now because you dance as well, so you can either dance with a person for one song and they'd be like, okay, bye, or you dance again and again because you guys realize you match each other's energy. And so that's why, energy is in the song as well. So you meet the person, you guys dance, and you're like, this clicks a lot. Like, let's keep on dancing. Let's dance again. Come closer. Let's move. So can you keep up with me? Like, okay, it's working. It's working. And then towards the end where it's like cuffing, I'm staying here. Like, I'm not saying you're mine, but but you're mine in here. So like, let's keep on dancing here. I like the feeling. I like the vibe. And then, just kind of being like, you know what? We click. Maybe we can get to know each other more. And it can still be PG, definitely, but you can still get to know each other more, outside of that scene. Many of us have been there. Being in the club experience, partying experience, and then you meet someone and that connection happens and then it evolves to something else that develops more into life. In terms of like your inspiration in not just in music but in your creativity, like what fuels you? Like for me, I there's a variety of things that fuel my creativity. Like I have to be doing a lot. I have to be investing. I got to see people's struggles, and I had to go through struggles too myself in life in order for me to get here. But I feel like a lot of times it's what you can come home to, and something sparks because of that. I remember when I was in college, I would not do music for like a few months because I was so focused on the study and doing the work. But then as soon as like the semester ended, I'll just have abundance of ideas that just flows through, and I was able to lay down so many tracks at that point in time. But then I got to take breaks after that because I got to find another set of creativity. But I feel like through struggle, sometimes that's where my inspiration comes from certain tracks. But I don't know how it is on the lyric side, so I'd love for you to tell us like what drives your encouragement to keep creating and writing music. Yeah. So for me, it really comes from experiences first. Yeah. That'll be like the first reason that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write this out, I'm gonna sing this out. And then it is how other people, because I have a lot of friends, and so when you talk to people, you hear that they have similar experiences and similar trials and similar struggles. So then after that, it's like, how can I write this or express this in a way that other people can relate to it and other people feel the same way? So that can happen in sad songs, that could happen in happy songs, that could happen in love songs, that can happen in party songs. And so the same thing with this song, I was like, this is how I'm feeling. I know people feel this way too. What's the best way that I can bring this together so people can be like, oh, I remember when I was hanging out or they may want to hang out again, or just, relive some happy experiences or happy moments. And like you mentioned in college, that's when, like, you get to do a lot of things, so it comes from people's experiences and my own.
Any experience that drove you to write this particular song that you could remember?
No, no particular experience at all. But it really just came from, because I like dancing. So a lot of the times that I go out, I can dance by myself, and then I can also dance with other people. I can dance with my friends. So it's really just anything. What came out was just the feeling of just being free, being in this place where you literally just enjoy every part of the atmosphere. That's why I mentioned like the lights and just different things that are going on in there. Just being totally present where you are.
Being free is something that we all need at times, especially when we gotta decompress after so much things are going on, and stepping away from the things that you're constantly pounding against, running at 24/7. Because I know I do it a lot, and having that dedicated time to be able to decompress and feeling free, whether that's in being in the scenery, whether that's in music, whether that's in your creative process, it's very important for our well-being. Because I mean, God rested on the seventh day. He didn't rest on the seventh day for a reason. He wasn't running at 24/7 doing all this stuff, and he doesn't need to. So it's just an example for us to really always try to find ways to decompress and set time aside for that, because it's very important. Any little gems in there that people should watch out for when they actually hear the song?
I think they should listen for the way that words are played with sometimes in there. Yeah, I think
Give us an
yeah.
example. One example, and I'll try to find it and I'll play it if I can. But one example of wordplay that you want to hint people to, that you use actually.
Yeah, so it would be for me. It would be two different times. So the first one where it's like closer, close the space. So I mean, closer is coming closer, but if they're getting closer, they also closing the space. So I really like that way that was said. And then the energy, just the way that energy is repeated in the song. It's just to bring that out. You mentioned how God rested on the seventh day, right? And David danced. There's times where David danced. It's okay, to just let all the energy just come out and just receive good energy. You know what I mean? It's okay to be around people, be in a social space where everybody's happy and having a good time. Nothing has to be crossing any boundaries. Nothing has to be overly done. It's just excitement.
I'm glad you mentioned the energy part, because when she had initially recorded this, we had the verse, the chorus, and then went back straight to the verse. But then I felt like there was something missing, and then I heard her say the word energy through some one part, and I was like, I could do something with that. So I took that, made it a sample, stripped it down, and I literally made another, like, length as the chorus, another part. You could call it a sub chorus that just pretty much uses that energy playing back and forth. And just to let you guys hear what I'm talking about, it's really just after she finished it. This is her samples I'm just like playing with. I took the end of the energy, and you're gonna hear it again once you hear the full song. But it was really having fun with it. Like you said, it's just like being free, and being able to express that was like, it really felt good. I didn't really think about much, but I'm like, I got to take this somewhere else, because you said energy, and I got to bring energy to the song, to bring out the vibe. So that was inspiring for me actually to really piece this together. Because when you first record a song as a producer, sometimes you don't know where you're gonna take the mix. You don't know where you're even gonna go back to the production and build that out. So sometimes, depending on what the artist gives you, something spawns out. I had instances where literally I took one line from one person I work with, and I turned it into a whole song with just that one line. It felt like a sample remix type song, but it came naturally. I didn't really have to think about it, and it really felt free. I thank you so much for like really giving us as much insights and sharing your inspiration, your creativity, your process. Because every songwriter, they have their own ways of doing things. Sometimes some have to do certain rituals. Some got to go to the gym. Some got to drink a whole gallon of water and all this stuff. But really you just like banged it out. Like, what was your environment actually when you were writing the song? Were you on the train, at home?
So I use my magical phone,
All right.
which which is with me everywhere I go. So I can
Yeah.
be writing in the studio with you, and then I can be writing when I'm at home. I can just let the beat play over and over and over, in my head, and then be like, okay, I like this here, I like this there, and then one line leads to another. Like you said, like you heard one line and you were able to make a whole, song out of that. So that's really what happens. But I write all over. There's
Yeah.
no limit to where I'm writing. I'm writing at home, I'm writing in my bed, I'm writing on the train, I'm writing on the bus. Everywhere I'm at, I'm writing, and I'm constantly on my phone editing and, doing this and that
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
And that's how the magic happens, y'all. So I appreciate it for chatting with me. In terms of people staying connected with you, definitely shout out your socials right now. How can people really connect with you?
Oh yeah, for sure. So it's Oria, Oria dot Michelle, Michelle. You will find me there, and I'll be happy to add you. And we have a lot more coming.
You heard it all here, folks. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. We put a lot of sweat, blood, and tears into this. Hours and hours of work with me, the Shoy, as well as Oria, that really brought this to life with her lyrics and envisioning the environment that this needed to take you when you actually listen to it. So I look forward to hearing your feedback once we actually release this. So peace.
Yeah.